Hi guys. I wanted to cover something really quick. I know that some of you guys, when you're kind of going through the ray tracing or the ray trace display style down in Circa in the lab, some of you had been running into trouble with it, either being really slow or kind of getting it to work. Okay, and so it actually might be a setting thing that you should change. So. If you go to Tools, Options, and where you can change this is under here, Cycles. In Cycles, there is actually a setting that controls the what Rhino uses as its main sort of rendering engine or computation method, right? Now, the computer I'm recording this on has a NVIDIA GeForce GPU. And so because of that, when it tries to do these sort of preview renders, it actually uses the GPU, which sometimes is a lot faster. And so the computers downstairs in Circa actually don't have a discrete graphics card like this one. And so you would actually probably want to try to switch it over to CPU. And to force it to use the CPU to do the calculation. And the CPUs downstairs in the lab are actually pretty good. So if that might actually be the issue or the problem. Okay. And also, like if you have a laptop that doesn't have a GPU, it's using its sort of like onboard chip. Those are usually pretty anemic, and so you might want to like toggle the settings, switch it over to CPU, force it to use the CPU, and see how it goes. Right? It will kind of really depend on how fast your CPU is, obviously, but it's probably better than using a really weak GPU to try to run things like that. Okay, so that's just like one thing to try. See if it fixes things or see if like things do a little better. And like right now, I'm actually forcing um, Rhino to use my CPU to render, and my CPU isn't super fast, but it's kind of okay. Yeah. So try that out. See if that works. See if that is the issue or that's the thing that kind of is holding you up. Now the other sort of quick thing to change here, actually, as I go over is here in the session settings, the samples, right? You can actually set this to lower, meaning that if you're kind of looking for it to kind of go a little bit faster, right, or whatever, you can actually set this to 500. Essentially, like it won't kind of calculate for that much longer, right? And if you guys remember that as long as we're kind of doing view capture to file with the dialog box in Raytrace mode, that's also the thing here, like number of passes to set it to 500 or something just like kind of slightly slower. Make sure your resolution isn't like some crazy high thing, and then to say okay and let it render out that way. Okay, so that might also help things as well. But just know that like the CPU GPU setting is really important. If you don't have a discrete GPU, then you actually might want to switch over to the GPU side. Okay, yeah, that's it.